Hi, can a $250 dongle DAC sound as good as my favorite $850 DAC? I don't know. Grab a cup of coffee, sit down, and let's talk about the Cayin RU6. Today's sponsor is the Weem Mini Streamer. For the price of one of the competition's components, you can get 4 or 5 of these, make a whole home distributed audio system, bring in just about every streaming service known to man, bring in your networked music, Spotify Connect, Tidal Connect, gapless playback, and if you don't know what gapless is, I've got a few videos about that. The Weem Mini Streamer, less than $100. Best deal in streaming. Links are in the description and the pinned comment. Cayin contacted me and sent this out. It is an R2R dongle DAC. It's real nice. It's this size. Actually, it's about the size of a cigarette lighter. Okay, has single-ended and balanced outputs for 3.5 millimeter or a 4.4 pentagon. What makes this special? Well, it's $250 to $300. That sounds like it's pushing it for a dongle DAC, but that's okay. The AudioQuest Cobalt, Dragonfly Cobalt, is $300 or more. This is $250 to $300. This still isn't outside the realm of possibilities for a dongle DAC. And if you do a lot of your listening at work in a cubicle, I'm sorry, I've been there, it's okay. You're gonna be all right. That's why you should bring good music with you and maybe get a dongle DAC and go ahead and block out the rest of the world with some headphones. Or you travel a lot, or you're on planes, trains, or automobiles. Maybe not automobile, but if you travel a lot or you like to have your music on the go, then a good dongle DAC is actually a great investment. Not only is a dongle DAC a great investment, but sometimes if you're a little bit creative, you can put one of these straight into your Hifi system for the low price of a 3.5 millimeter to RCA cable. Maybe a long one if you're going to sit in your chair, or a 4.4 pentagon cable to 2 XLR balanced cables into your balanced input in your Hifi. That might be more expensive though. So why is this more special than anything else? Like this or the Apple Lightning to 3.5 millimeter adapter? What makes this so special? Well, I'll tell you the reason why. This is an R2R dongle DAC, fully discrete. What does that mean? It means it uses resistors and other discrete components to make the music come from ones and zeros into your notes and treble clefs and stuff into your brain housing unit. It's the OG way of doing it, digital to analog conversion. Most, like these, are done on a Delta Sigma chip. Nothing wrong with that. They've been doing it for a long time and it's cheaper and probably easier to do. But one of my favorite DACs is the Denafrep's Aries 2, and that is a R2R ladder DAC. I don't know what it is about it, but it sounds really good. It gives you a sense of space, separation, depth to the music. And if I had to describe this thing, it would be deep, dramatic, dense, from a diminutive, that's the third time I've said that, from a diminutive size. Yeah, you get all that from here. Okay, so how does it sound? Well, sonically, it's, quite punchy and has a lot of detail. Mid-range seems to be clear, not harsh at all. There's not a harsh note bone in this thing's body. And it sounds very similar to the Denafrep's Aries 2. So the RU6 can do up to 384 kilobits per second. Most music, tops out at 24,192, unless you have something special. Also does DSD. On the side, you'll notice 3 buttons. There's a mode button and a volume up and a volume down button. And the cool thing about these are they're real buttons that depress and you can feel it. So you can switch this from high gain to low gain on the headphone amp, and you can control volume, and you can select oversampling mode or non-oversampling mode. And I thought the oversampling mode sounded better. If you have to listen exactly the way the track was mastered, so if it's 1644.1 or whatever it is, then you're going to have to put it in non-oversampling mode. It worked well though. When I had this hooked up to a Tidal, it switched the resolution, but I found that I personally like the oversampling mode better. So that's why I left it. The only thing you have to do is long press the mode and then it gets into the little display. Display's pretty nice. This thing is built very well. Made out of metal, feels fairly premium as far as dongle DACs go. I compared it to the Ibasso DC, what is that? 05, as well as the Hi-Vis S9 Pro, as well as the Denafrep's Aries 2. The headphones I used, trigger alert, the Lyric by Meze. They're a $2,000 closed back headphone. Yeah, pretty good. I'd hope so. The Sennheiser 6XX from Drop and Sennheiser. And then another Sennheiser, one of my favorites. I feel like I'm juggling headphones. The HD 560S from Sennheiser. Very, very good. These are very neutral. And the velour pads pick up all the hair in the house. Very, very good. Open. Great neutral sound signature. Really good. And the irony was, this ended up being one of my favorite combinations with the RU6. For whatever reason, they paired up really well. It also paired up really, really well with the lyrics. Not so much with the 6XX. And I think it has to do with power. This only puts out 140 or so milliwatts into a 32 ohm load on the single-ended connection. On the balanced 4.4 Pentagon, you get about 100 more milliwatts. Not a ton. There's a lot of headphone amps out there that are rated at 1 watt or even 2 watts into a 32 ohm load. If you have really hard to drive headphones, this may not be the dongle DAC for you. Hold that thought though. If you have really, really, really hard to drive headphones, then you may consider the topping NX7. Yeah, what is it? It's just a headphone amp. There's no DAC inside. So you would have to take a DAC like the RU6, put it into this thing, and then crank this yummy thing. Looks like a, ooh, yeah. Except instead of liquor being here, it's awesome music. Awesome, powerful music going into your headphones. So you could get one of these. This is 200 bucks. So for $450, you have a real powerful, awesome sounding headphone solution that to me sounds way better than the Hifi Diablo, which is $1,000. This would be half that. And then you could get 2 pairs of headphones and it will still sound better. And you have headphones now. So there's a value proposition here. The RU6 will drive most headphones. I was able to max it out though on the 6XX and it just didn't sound great. The 560S, however, sounded awesome. The lyrics sounded awesome. I think for most headphones, it will work. It won't work on all headphones, but most headphones will be just fine. So let's talk more about the sound or the experience. By the way, I'll link all these in the description. The headphones will be affiliate links, which means if you click on it and you buy through those links, I will get a commission. However, the RU6, I don't have an affiliate link with Cayin or Cayin, however you want to say it. But you can support the channel by signing up for Patreon, patreon.com/cheapaudio. Every Sunday night we have Patreon-only Zooms. We also have a Patreon-only Facebook group. Or you can sign up for Amazon Music or Tidal. If you do, I will get a small commission. I will get a few bucks. Let's talk about space. Let's talk about the Denafreps Aries 2 and why I like that. That DAC, for me, was the first source component that made everything sound better. Speakers sound better. Amps sound better. Everything sounded better with the Denafreps Aries 2. I don't know why. It just did. Maybe it's because it has an awesome power supply. Who knows? Maybe it's because of all the resistors. I don't know. The only thing I do know is that it sounded good. Even took some harsh speakers and calmed them down a bit. This dongle DAC does something very similar. Not only does it do that, but it also gives you a sense of, space, air. There's a song by Metallica called Fixer. I think it's off the Load or the Reload album. Anyway, very slow crescendo, and I thought it was coming out of my laptop speakers. I had to take the headphones off, listen to my laptop, because the imaging was so good. The sound just came forward, and I've never really had a great imaging and soundstage experience on headphones. Yes, I know that headphones soundstage and image, but not like speakers. Well, in this case, it was like speakers. The bass is very dynamic, almost punchy. This would be what I would call, I don't know if I'm using it, musical. This would be a musical dongle DAC. I still don't know what that means. It's sparkly, it's clear, but more than anything else, it's open and big coming at you. It's awesome. There is a point when all of the latest and greatest DAC chips just don't matter. It doesn't matter because some of these components that have discrete parts, to me, to my ear, just sound way better. And I have no horse in this race. The RU6 isn't even an affiliate. I don't have an affiliate link with Denafreps either. These are products that I think are outstanding and game changers. And just like the Denafreps Aries 2, the RU6 took my headphone listening experience to the next level. Now, if you want to hook this up to your stereo, you can. I would max out the volume or get it maybe 95% maxed out, and then tether yourself to your hi-fi system with a very long cord. And use your iPhone or your iPad or your Android tablet, or, and I'm going to have to do more testing on this, I'm going to hook this up to a Raspberry Pi running Volumio or running RoPi-E as a dongle DAC, and then right into the system. Then you're not tethered by a cable, ripping your stuff off of your rack or your console. So with the Lyrics, those headphones are a pretty neutral headphone, and it just made them punchier. It made them way bigger sounding, and that headphone already sounds pretty big for a closed back headphone. With the 560S, I don't know what it was, but those were very, very good. And I think if you are working in an office environment, if you travel a lot, then you owe it to yourself to you don't have to buy the RU6. Look into buying a very good dongle DAC. If you have harder to drive headphones and you really love those, get the NX7 for another $200 and add that. You have a little stack in your cubicle. Be just fine. Even if you travel, put this right in your inside pocket. Favorite combination that I had out of all of those was the RU6 and the HD 560S. That comes in under $450, that combination. If you want to learn a little bit more about the 560S, click on this next video. It's going to tell you all about it. So don't binge watch anything on Netflix or Hulu. Binge listen maybe out of your new Cayin RU6 and HD 560S and fill your soul with happiness on the road or in your cubicle. And with that, I'm Randy. I'm the Cheap Audio Man.